Hello students, today we will read about dimensional analysis. So there are three important dimensional analysis which will be frequently coming in your exam. I will discuss one by one. So I'm writing here. Number one dimensional analysis is conversion of units. The second one will be checking the correctness of an relation, of an equation. Correctness of an equation. And the third is establish relation between physical quantities. So I will discuss one by one. Let's start the discussion. So the very first one is what? The very first one is checking. Sorry, not the correct, not this one. The very first one will be conversion of unit. So you know 1 joule equal to how much work? If someone will ask this question, so how to solve conversion of units? You have to solve one. You have to. They will ask. The question will be like this: convert 1 joule to how much org? As you know, joule is the SI unit. Okay, so and org is the CGS unit. So you have to write like this. Question is this. So solution will be like this solution. And for the solution, remember a formula: N1 U1 equal to N2 U2. It's a simple formula. Okay, you just remember this formula: N1 U1 equal to N2 U2. Okay, that means unit 1 is U1, unit 2 is U2. So now I have to solve like this. Okay, how to solve? So I will go like this. So I will basically will solve like this. I will draw a line. Here I will write SI unit. Here I will write CGS unit. Means I have to convert this unit to this unit. So I have to write the dimension. What is the dimension? What is given? I know that work carries a. It is nothing but to work. What is the dimension of work? Dimension of work is, I have to write like this in terms of M1 equal to 1 kg, L1 equal to 1 meter, and T1 equal to 1 second. Here M2 equal to 1 gram, L2 equal to 1 centimeter, and T2 equal to 1 second. So here I can see, here it is 1 kg, it is 1 gram. So it is getting difference of 10 to the power 1 kg means what? 1000 gram. That means 10 to the power 3 gram. So here 10 to the power 3. Here 1 centimeter, 1 meter. So also 10 to the power 3. So let's get started how to solve this type of problem. So I'm erasing everything. Okay, so basically I have to draw like this. I will draw a line. I will write here M1 equal to 1 kg equal to 1000 gram, L1 equal to 1 meter, here SI unit, here CGS unit. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. Here I have to write T1 equal to 1 second and N1 equal to 1 joule. It is asked in this question 1 joule equal to how much arc. So M2 equal to 1 gram, L2 equal to 1 centimeter and T2 equal to 1 second and N2 equal to, I have to find out, means in question it is asked 1 joule equal to how much arc. It is the question. So I will apply the formula. What is the formula? N1 U1 equal to N2 U2. That means I have to find out N2. N2 will be what? N2 will be N1 U1 by U2. That means N1 is 1 here. So 1 into U1 by U2. Okay. So here let's start 1 into U1, unit 1. So first take M1 by N2. Okay. M1 is 1000 divided by M2 is 1 gram. Why I am doing 1000? Because it is in gram to the power A. And L1 by L2. L1 is 100 centimeter divided by 1 to the power B. And T1 by T2, it will be 1 by 1. So to the power C. So what is the dimension of work done? I know work equal to M L2 T minus 2. I know this. So this A will be 1, this B will be 2, this C will be minus 2. So I will put the dimension of work. Then I am getting 1000 by 1 is 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 3, and 100 by 1 is 10 to the power 2. Again 2 is there, so 10 to the power 4, and it is 1. So I will write, it is simply 1, so it will be 1. So I will write 10 to the power 7. So I got 1 joule equal to 10 to the power 7 arc. 10 to the power 7 arc. So this is the way I have to solve. So next I will move to the next application. What is the next application? The next application is the number 2. The number 2 application is, what is the number 2 application? Number 2 application is check the correctness of a relation. Okay. So how to find out the how to solve this? In this question, you will be given a relation. So what is the relation? If I will say velocity is equal to root over of volumetric strain, which is nothing but bulk modulus, divided by density. This is the relation given. And question is asked, what is the question? Question will be asked whether it is correct or not. Proof using dimensional method or using method of dimension. So how to solve this type of question? In this type of question, I will first find out the dimension of LHS. Then I will find out the dimension of RHS. If the both dimension will be equal, then I will say this is the correct equation or correct relation according to dimension. So how to solve this? So I will do like this. What will be the dimension of LHS? I will write here, and what will be the dimension of RHS? I will write here. So what is the dimension of LHS? B equal to what? L T minus 1. Simply I am writing the dimension of velocity is this much. And what is this B? B is nothing but bulk modulus, which is equal to stress. Stress means pressure. divided by volumetric strain, del V by V. So del V by V, you will be reading about this del V by V in future. So this is having no dimension. This is having no dimension. So Bock modulus means the volumetric elastic coefficient carries the dimension of pressure. What is the dimension of pressure? I know the dimension of pressure is m, L minus 1, T minus 2. Okay, I know this because pressure is nothing but force upon area, and force is nothing but m, L, T minus 2 upon A is nothing but L square. If L square will go, so this is the dimension of pressure. So I got the dimension of B, and what is the dimension of density? The dimension of density equal to LQ. So here I will write LQ. If L will go up, so it will get cancelled out. So what I will get? I will get, if L, sorry, the dimension of volume is LQ and mass is M. So M by LQ is the volume of density, because this is the density. So here I can write minus 3, M, L minus 3. So M already cancelled out, L minus 3 will go off, it will be minus 1 plus 3, 2. So it will be L2 T2, and root over is there, so I will give root over. So what I am getting here, I am getting exactly L T minus 1, which is nothing but the dimension of RHS side. So here I can say the dimension in LHS side equal to dimension of RHS side. So I can also take another example, just a very quick example I am taking. Suppose I will write F equal to, F equal to mass into acceleration. So I will ask whether this is correct or not. So I know the dimension of F is m, L, T minus 2. This is the dimension of left hand side. What is the dimension of right hand side? This is the m, and A will carry the dimension of LT minus 2. So I also got this. So again I will take another example which will be very easy. So another example is that, suppose I will write S equal to, an equation is there, S equal to ut plus half 80 square. Okay, so what is the dimension of S? You know the dimension of S is only L, because the length, the left hand side dimension I got as L. And what is the right hand side dimension? Okay, so right hand side dimension is U into T, dimension of U. So now what is the dimension for right hand side? What is given in right hand side? ut. U dimension, velocity dimension is lt inverse, and multiply it with t. So ut will carry a dimension of L. T inverse will cancel out, so only L. And again half, it's 80 square. A is L T minus 2. Okay, into T square is there, so T2. So here it will cancel. So I got the dimension in RHS side. For UT I got L. For 80 square I got L. So here in the LHS also I got L. So this equation in LHS, so don't get confused that plus is there. So no, I will compare term wise. So this term dimension is L. So this term dimension is L. So now I can conclude the LHS is having same dimension. They both LHS and RHS are having the dimension L, same dimension. So this equation holds good or correct. You have to write like this. They will ask the question, this equation is correct or not, verify using dimension, and you have to solve like this. This is about your second application. So what is about your third application? So third application is nothing but, third application, I will write the third application. Third application is again is to establish relationship between physical quantities. Okay, so let's start with this. So what is this type of problem? In this type of problem, always remember, they will ask a question where they will ask, suppose I'm taking an example, then you will get clear. Suppose they will ask like this. Suppose in an experiment of pendulum, suppose it's an experiment. So in a pendulum experiment, the time period found to depend directly, okay, or inversely. They won't tell, they will only tell it depends on length of the string. Pendulum is what? It is a pendulum, right? So its string is there, a ball, so it will go like this, it will go like this. So pendulum will, it is a rigid support, the pendulum will move like this and this. So this is the string length, okay, string length and acceleration due to gravity. So what is given in question? The question they will give in an experiment, it is found that the time period depends on length of the string, and acceleration due to gravity. Then find out the relation between them. This is the question. Then find out the relation between them. So what is given in question? In question is given the only time period depending. How depends? I don't know. Only it depends on length and gravity. So then find out a relation between them. So you have to find out the relation between them, how it depends. If you will find how it depends, then you will get a formula. So I can write the T equal to this by L by G, or L into G, or L square G square, or LQ GQ, whatever the formula I will get in now after solving this. This is only possible in dimension. Otherwise, it is not possible to find out the formula. Only experiment says that time period depends on length and depends on gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So using dimension analysis, let's find out a formula. So let's jump to the solution. Okay, let's start. How to solve this type of problem? To solve this type of problem, you have to write who depends. Time period depends. Okay, who depends? Time period depends. So T depends. On which quantity it depends? On length it depends. On acceleration due to gravity it depends. Then you have to solve like this. First, write the dimension for left hand side. What is the dimension of left hand side? So I have to write the dimension of left side is M0, L0, T1. Depends. Take a constant. I am taking constant at K. And what is the dimension of right hand side? These two are left hand side and right hand side. What is the right hand side dimension? I don't know the dimension of length. Yeah, I know the length will have only L. And what is the dimension of acceleration? It's gravity due to its acceleration due to gravity. It's also having same dimension, LT minus 2. Just write the dimension, give power to right hand side, means A and B. I have to solve for the values of A and B. Once I am done with these values, my problem is solved. So just expand it. Expand the right hand side. How to expand? You have to expand like this. L to the power A is there, L to the power B is there. So you have to write L to the power A plus B. Just I'm expanding. I'm not doing anything. Expanding. So T to the power minus 2B. So you can write T to the power minus 2B. So I just expanded the right hand side. After expanding the right hand side, what I got? I got L to the power A plus B. In left hand side, L to the power 0. So I got one equation, A plus B equal to 0. So in again compare another thing, minus 2b is there, t to the power, here t to the power 1 is there. So again I got equation 1, I got again I got minus 2b minus 2b equal to what is the power, t to the power 1, t to the power 1 is the power. So minus 2b equal to 1, it is equation number 2. So if it minus 2b equal to 1, b equal to half, sorry minus half. If b equal to minus half, then a equal to a plus b 0. If b will be minus half, a will be plus half, a is plus half. So I got very easily the value of a and b. So I am done with this problem. If I got the value of a and b, so I can write, after solving equation 1, first what I did, I applied dimension both hand sides. Then I give a power. Here I gave a power, here I gave a power. So I expanded. So L to the power a and L to the power b, it becomes L to the power a plus b, t to the power minus 2b, t to the power minus 2b. I expanded. After expanding, I just compared the values of power with respect to the left hand side. So left hand side L to the power is 0, so a plus b is 0, and t1, so minus 2b equal to 1. So I got two equation, and after solving two equation, I got the values of a and b. Now I got the value of a as minus half and b as plus half. So I got the values of a and b plus half minus half. So now let's apply the values. So t equal to, the constant will remain at is k. Okay, here it will be equal to, if you are applying a constant, then proportionality sign will disappear and equal to sign will come into picture. So t equal to k into L carries minus half, sorry a is minus half, and what is a, okay, a b equal to, sorry a is plus half, a is plus half, here I got a is plus half, a is plus half, sorry, and b is minus half, yeah, b is minus half. So a is plus half, so I will give a root over a l, so I will take l by g. I got the formula. How I got the formula? After getting a as plus half, b as minus half, I got this formula. The time period will carry a formula for like this. A constant will be multiplied root over of L by g. A constant value is given to you. It is a constant, so it will be fixed. If you know the length of the string and acceleration due to gravity is always 9.8 meter per second square, only the length of the string is given, then you will be able to find out the time period of that pendulum. Okay, so let's take another example. You will be very much clear. That another example is that, you know, if a body is moving in a circular motion, question is that a body is moving in a circular motion, the centripetal force, which is centripetal force? The centripetal force is the force which is required for a body to move in circular motion, and it always acts, okay, away from the center. So it is given. So centripetal force is the force in circular motion which depends on the mass of the body which is moving in the circular motion, okay, and the velocity with which it is moving, and the radius, okay. This is not normal force, this is centripetal force, depends on mass, depends on velocity, depends on radius. So before solving, I'm writing the formula. It is a well-known formula, F equal to mv square by r, F equal to mv square by r. So this is I'm going to obtain, okay. So how to obtain? In question they will simply ask, the force of centripetal depends on the mass, depends on the velocity, depends on the radius of the circular path. Then find out, they will simply say like this depends on this, then find out a relation between them. Okay, it will be asked in question. Then find out a relation between them. So let's find out how to do this. To do this, again what I said, write the dimension of force, which is nothing but m l t minus 2. I wrote the dimension of force, okay. So equal to a constant, write the dimension of m, M is normal M, give a power A, and B is LT inverse, give a power B, and R is what? Again, R is length, so L, give a power C. Once I will be done with A, B, C, then I will get the formula. And again, for solving 3 value, I need 3 equation. Okay, so here I have to write 3 equation. If I will write 3 equation, then I will be solving 3 values. So just expand this. I am expanding M to the power A, here L to the power B, L to the power C. So L to the power B plus C, here T to the power minus B. So T to the power minus B. Just I expanded. Now I have to compare. Directly I am getting A equal to 1 because M to the power A is there, here M to the power 1 is there. So A is 1, I am getting A is 1. From equation 1, I am getting. Then B plus C is again 1. I am getting B plus C equal to 1. And minus B equal to I am getting minus 2. Minus B equal to minus 2. So B equal to 2. If B equal to 2, okay, so this is equation 3. If B equal to 2, I will put here, so I will get C equal to how much? I will get C equal to minus 1. So what I got? A equal to 1, B equal to 2, C equal to minus 1. Simply I got these values. After I'm getting these values, I will apply. F equal to some constant will be there. Here also some constant is there. So F equal to a constant. So A is 1, so M. B is 2, so B square. C is minus 1, so R will come here. Okay, I got the formula. So this is the gist of dimensional analysis. It is said that to establish the relation, establish the relation between physical quantities, In next class, in next video, I will be discussing about different types of errors and how to deal with errors. In next class, I will discuss about different types of errors and how to deal with errors. So I hope you like my video. So I will request to subscribe and share my channel, which will motivate me to produce such types of videos, educational videos on physics. Thank you for watching.